Okay, folks, working our way down from the hair, the next thing that we are going to be looking at is eyebrows. So once again, we're going to be using the scribble feature. I'm going to grab a scribble, drag it out onto our canvas. But this time I'm going to use this windshield wiper kind of feature instead of just the draw feature. This is the one that has the pencil that looks like that is drawing a star on the bottom of the page. I'm going to grab that. And the way this works is you click and hold and you can draw sort of fuller shapes. And the eraser tool is exactly the same way. I'm going to click out here and I'm going to swing to erase everything. So in order to make eyebrows, I'm going to them to be kind of spiky. So I'm going to go up and down and up and down and up and down, up and down and up and down a few times, and then all the way over, all while I am holding my mouse button. Now, you can do all sorts of things with this. If you wanted it to be more of this kind of eyebrow, that would work too. You could absolutely do that. It is completely up to you. But I'm going to go with spiky. But I think I'd like sort of to cut out just the bottom bit here. So I'm going to stay with my eraser tool. I'm going to start my pen right here, and I am going to swing out just like this and erase. And I mean, you can do whatever you want. You can add, you can subtract. Remember, you always have these undo buttons down here. But for me, that looks pretty good. So I'm going to hit done. And that is going to be our eyebrow. I am going to click outside to deselect it and press the F button so that our two parts fill the screen. And let's pull this down just a little bit. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to grab our eyebrow and we are going to pull it onto our bookmark. We want to sort of place it where we want it. I'm going to zoom in a bit here, because I want to show you that on the bottom of our, when we have our item selected, we have this sort of curvy arrow. We actually have a curvy arrow here, which is going to allow us to rotate our object on the horizontal plane right here. If I swing this way, you'll see there's also a curvy arrow there that would allow us to rotate our object in the vertical plane, but we don't want to do that. We just want to keep it in the horizontal. And the first thing that I'm noticing about this eyebrow is it might be a little bit too big. So I'm going to grab this black handle right here. I'm going to shrink it down just a little bit. Then I'm going to grab our rotation handle, click on it. And I want you to notice, as soon as I click on it, there's sort of an inner ring where there are lines that are more spaced apart, and then outer rings where the lines are really close together. So if you have your mouse in the inner ring, we're going to rotate by 22.5 degrees every time we rotate. But if we move our mouse down just a little bit into the outer ring, we have a lot more control. It's a little bit difficult, but we do have a lot more control over the rotation of our eyebrow. And I think I like my eyebrow right about there. Fantastic. So, next thing I'm going to do, because we don't just have one eyebrow, right, is we're going to duplicate this eyebrow. So I am going to hit the duplicate button, which is right up here next to the trash can. I'm going to click that. And once again, we've got two eyebrows now just sitting right on top of each other. And I am going to arrow over until the eyebrow is approximately where I would want it to be. But of course, it's backwards. So we are going to use this nifty tool right up here called mirror. All right, it looks like a triangle facing the other triangle through a mirror. I'm going to click on that. And what you see up here are two arrows. This arrow allows you to flip your object vertically, and you can see it gives you a little outline of what that would look like. And this arrow allows your object to flip horizontally. That's what we want. I actually like that. I think that looks pretty good. So the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to group these two objects, just the eyebrows, together. All right? So I'm going to hold the Shift key on my keyboard. I am going to click first the eyebrow on the left, then the eyebrow on the right. You can see we have sort of an extended selection box here. And we can also see up here in our details panel that we have two shapes selected. And I am going to combine those two shapes using the group tool. Now, why did I do that? That actually allows us to move these eyebrows together. If I want to sort of nudge them up a little bit, I want to nudge them down a little bit. Now they are moving together. If I wanted to make them a little bit bigger, which actually I think I do, I want to make them just a little bit bigger. It all happens together, okay? And so now everything is consistent. The last thing we want to do is flip over here and make sure that we can see eyebrows in the bottom of our bookmark. If you cannot, the eyebrows are probably sitting on top of the bookmark, and that is a relatively easy thing to fix. All we're going to do is select our eyebrows, and you'll see there is an arrow right here sitting on top of the selected objects. That is going to move our object up and down in the Z-axis. So I'm going to grab that arrow, and I'm going to slide it down a little bit. It is okay if these are sticking up because they're going to be holes. Flip over to back. Now they're definitely coming through. Once again, these are going to be holes, so it is okay if it's coming through the bottom. In fact, let's change them to holes right now. Want to make sure that they are centered on our bookmark. So I'm going to hit that F button so we fit everything into our screen. I'm going to draw a box around everything to select them. Hit our alignment tool, and you'll see right down here, I want to make sure that our eyebrows and our bookmark are centered. So I'm going to click this, just move my eyebrows over just a little bit. And the final thing we're going to do is group them together. So draw that box if the two shapes are not selected already. Click that group button, and there we have it, our eyebrows. Great job, everybody.